This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free. Hey y'all, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here today. Let me show you something else real quick. So today I am talking about the Summerfield 6. I hate the way I talk right now. Okay. Um hold on just a minute. Let me get her channel pulled up. Oh my goodness. It's probably in my history. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. I wanted to show you something real quick. There, her is. Okay. So there. Sorry about that. Okay, so today a bunch of people in the community are doing fundraisers for Pride Month, and we had done a Pride Month stream. I'm going to continue to try to talk while I'm talking to you guys. We had done our Pride Month stream on the Matthew Shepard Foundation, and I did. I'll get myself together here in a minute. During that stream, when we talked about Matthew Shepard and that story, Bad Girl donated $50, and I just matched that and donated $100. It says 103, but that was like the charge for using a card. So I wanted to let y'all know that I did send that off. That was from the Matthew Shepard stream. I don't know what I was thinking, but I forgot to turn on like the fundraising aspect of it. So I did donate that. That was 103.76, 50 from me and 50 from Bad Girl. And then today, like I said, a bunch of the people in the community are doing fundraising streams. She's gonna have a Pride Month fundraiser and discussion coming up tonight at 7. If you guys want to check her out, I'm gonna drop this is nonsense. I'm gonna drop her link in the comment section. So today is also a fundraiser stream, because I wanted to join everybody else. I actually joined her fundraiser and decided to celebrate Pride again by doing a fundraiser stream. However, the content we're talking about today is not Pride related. But so I thought that maybe, I just wanted you guys to know that I was thinking today too. We did really good. Like we raised, I think it was 154 or 59 for the Nick Mick. We raised 550 for the hurricane victims of Western North Carolina. I know I donated 20 to Whitney Decker's GoFundMe. There was 103 we did for Matthew Shepard. I just donated 20 to this foundation, and I think somebody else from our side had done that too. There was like almost $500 raised for Madeline Soto, which I have in an account, but I tried to send it to the school like 17 times and they won't take it. So I'm going to have to donate that. I'm thinking like maybe after trial, they'll set up some kind of foundation or something. I don't know, but that's in an account. Either way, we've raised a lot of money. So I wanted to tell y'all thank you for that. I really appreciate you guys helping to support all these fundraisers and things that we do to just kind of give back to the community. And with that, let me say hey to y'all. Hey, Jenny Jen and Snarky Pants and Edith and Shadow and Lisa Lynn and Blue Jay and Cindy from sunny South Florida. Hobby Farmer, Tom. I saw that you said stay cool during this heat wave. Michael Green Chili Chicken. Good to see you. I'm so glad y'all are here. Um, yeah, this heat wave is something else. It has been so hot. Holly, good to see you. Hannah UK, good to see you. Happy Thursday. I know I love our community too. We're so sweet and giving. Y'all are so amazing. You're so considerate of my speech right now. I hate it. It's so irritating. I tried to eat a quesadilla today and I could not do it. Hey, Abellis. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, no, no, no. You're good, Blue Jay. I was just letting y'all know. You're fine, sweetheart. You're helping by being here and hitting the thumbs up. Because actually, if anybody watches this stream afterwards, you okay, so I think it's like if anybody who watches this stream, the advertisement money goes to the foundation as well because this stream will always be a fundraising stream. So I think if you just like hit the thumbs up and share the video or whatever that you're donating. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. Oh, thank you. I hear myself, but thank you. But you're good, Blue Jay. I was just letting y'all know. Yeah. Jenny Jen, thank you. I'm okay. I'm good. My mouth is hurting. I tried to eat a quesadilla and it didn't really work. Cool down here in Wisconsin, maybe donate toward abused children in the name of Maddie. Yeah, there's we're gonna do something with that money. It really irritated me because I wanted it to go to her school. So we're gonna figure it out. Hey, bad girl. I don't know if you were here, but I did donate the $50 you sent for the Matthew Shepard Foundation. I matched it, and so we donated 100 on that. Just so you know. Okay, so with that, let's get started. So I want to talk to you guys about the Summerfield Six. Now, this case is very intriguing. Um, I have an introduction video to kind of get you aware of the case, but it ended up with a girl who was 15 years old being sentenced to life in prison. I think it's without the possibility of parole for a crime she committed when she was 15. And then Michael Bargo, who was 18 at the time, being the youngest person in Florida history sentenced to death row. This case has really interested me for a long time. I did get the interrogations out and I put captions in them, so we should be able to understand it. There's a lot of interrogations. I'm still working on getting them out, but we do have quite a few to go. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, it won't let you gift memberships, but that's okay because I would rather go to the fundraiser anyway. That was so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are so sweet. Okay, so we're gonna watch the intro video first that I made, and I don't know, I hate the way I talk right now, like I said, so y'all have to work with me or bear with me through this one. The rest of them are interrogations, so you won't have to hear me talk. All right, this is gonna tell you about the case and kind of give you the backstory. Hold on. Our story takes. See, I hear myself already. Our story. I feel like a story. Our story Our story takes place in Florida and starts out with a group of friends. Hey, Scratch to Paint. Kyle Hopper was 16 years old and, for one reason or another, had moved out of his mother's house, staying at the local flop house up the road, who was being rented by Charlie. Also staying there was Roach and Michael Bargo, who had been a friend of Kyle's for a long time. Occasionally, Kyle's little sister, Amber, would come and visit. Kyle and his little sister, Amber, were very close. But Amber was going through a breakup. You see, Amber had dated Seth Jackson for a very long time. Seth, like, y'all, y'all are so sweet and welcoming and loving, and I really appreciate y'all so very much. I'm going to see if I can get Hio to do the voiceover on this before I put it out on the channel. But yeah, very very much kids with very little supervision, covered in tattoos, a lot going on there. Hey, Cara, I don't know if I said hey to you. Good to see you, babe. Good to see you, babe. Oh yeah, chew some gum so you don't get pressure in your ears. Are you going on a flight? Did you say that? Oh, nervous about my flight tomorrow. Yep. Well, you'll be okay. Just like she said, chew some gum. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, content. I am. Thank y'all for being here. Having recently broke up, Amber was upset about Seth trashing her to her friends.
Negative. But then he kept trashing my name. I lost all my friends to him. Everybody that I was so close with didn't talk to me anymore. So that's why you agreed to do this, because you were mad at him for that.
After Amber and Seth broke up, Amber often found herself at the house where her brother Kyle resided, which is also where Michael Bargo resided. Amber and Michael Bargo also became what appeared to be more than close friends. She does. Michael and Seth continued to have a rivalry, with messages exchanged between Seth and Amber on Facebook. Yep. Seth saying, "We both need to just let all this shit go. Yeah, we split. Yeah, it hurt, but I'm over the dumb shit with me and you, and I just ain't going to let Mike have his cake and eat it too." Can we take a moment to just I don't know the word, revel, acknowledge, plunder at the text, the words here? What is it? There's a couple here. It's like, so learn the definition on done instead of done. You continuously was surprisingly spelled right. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think we should have been a little more focused on school spelling maybe than tattoos and piercings, but that's just, my lonely little old opinion over here. It don't work that way, Amber, and you know that. Amber texting back, "How are you done with it when you continuously
Right.
write shit about me, talk shit about me, hate on me, fucking say shit to me? Huh? Tell me, because I really want to fucking know." Exactly. You're not done with it if you keep bringing my name into shit. So learn the definition on done. The rivalry continued to go back and forth between Michael Bargo and Seth Jackson. And Amber seemed to find herself right in the middle of all of it. While visiting her brother at Charlie's house, Charlie, Amber, Roach, Michael, and Kyle all devised a horrendous plan. The plan started with a text. Amber texted Seth at 8:12 p.m. and said, "Hey, can you talk?" Seth texted Amber back and said, "You said you needed to talk." Amber said to Seth, "Well, I kind of need to talk to you about us working things out." Seth says, "What you mean?" Amber says, "Can you please call me like now?" Seth says, "Yeah, sure." Amber says to Seth, "Hey, my friend Charlie is coming with. I've been telling her everything between me and you, and she's coming because I need her to help through this. Is that okay? But don't tell nobody what's going on because I want to make sure we can work things out before anyone knows." Seth says to Amber, "Amber, if you have me jumped, I will never give you." Amber texts back, "I swear you're not, Seth. I could never do that to you. I just want you and me back." I got I got mine when I was 18, but I do have one dot on my wrist from the old fashioned with needle and indigenous ink. Um, there was a guy that was going to do the three dots for my crazy life, but then he was like, "You got to earn them," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I never finished that one. Seth says to Amber, "Okay." Amber says to Seth, "I'm walking up the hill now," and that was sent at 9 p.m. Amber said to Seth, "I am at the neighborhood road. Where are you?" Seth said to Amber, "Sorry, I didn't want Will to hear me, but stay around the corner where me and you fought. Just wait right there, and I'll be there in a minute." Bad girl, I'm sorry you're not feeling good. And that's really sweet, Cara. Like to remember the trip. The Phoebe from Friends tat. That's cute. And what ensued is one of the worst cases in Florida history. It ended up in the homicide of Seth Jackson in a brutal, horrendous manner. Michael Bargo being the youngest person sentenced to death row in the state of Florida. Amber Wright, the 15-year-old, being sentenced to life in prison for a crime she committed at the age of 15. Her brother Kyle also being sentenced to life in prison for a crime he committed when he was 16 years old, and their mother losing both of her children in one day. But who's the mastermind? Was it the 15-year-old redheaded beauty, or was it the trigger man, Michael Bargo? That's my issue with this case. Who really planned all this out? Like, I want to know who really planned it, who did all of it. I mean, I know Michael Bargo supposedly shot Seth and then did all the other horrendous things that we're going to learn about, but um was it more like, was Amber like telling him, you need to do this, you need to do this. If you want to be with me, you need to do this? Or was Michael just like, I'm going to do this and you're going to watch or something? That's what made me want to get into this story and pull the evidence and see what I could figure out. A bad boy from the wrong side of the tracks.
That she was deliberately enraging him via her relationship with this guy, Mike Barger, who she now admits she was having sex with, that she was doing that to goad and agitate your son.
Now there we just learned that evidently Amber was just trying to agitate the two guys and make them fight over each other, which isn't cool, but like, again, it's something that some teenagers tend to do. It'll be a girl and two guys will fight over her. I mean, it's not unheard of. How did we get all the way to homicide from that? Cara said, my mom told my dad that it's either Cara gets it here where you can see that everything is clean and sanitary, or she gets it done in New York City where she knows where they want ID and probably not sanitary. And she's right. I used to cut high school and hop on the LIRR to get piercings. Oh, wow. That's cute. I've got a fairy that's sitting on a bubble on my lower back that I got when I was 18. And then I've got my first two children's footprints from their birth certificates under on my upper back with their names under it and a heart between them. And then that dot on my wrist. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to cough in y'all's ears. Hey, Allie X. My two daughters are covered in tats, but my husband and I don't have any. I like the arms and sleeves and stuff. You have a fairy on the back of your neck. That's cool. Hey, Vero. Okay.
That just confirms my feelings of her being manipulative.
How do you feel about it, Scott?
I want to kill a bitch. No, I wanna. Just put this in a good way. I want to torture the bitch, all of them, and wouldn't lose a bit of sleep over it.
Now he's got two other sons. He had three sons total with Seth. But I mean, I don't understand his frustration, but I could understand why he has it.
It would take a long time. I know that ain't gonna bring my boy back, but it's damn sure gonna feel good while I'm doing it.
And with that, let's start with the interrogations.
So yeah, I got to re-edit that because I don't like the way I sound. But you get kind of the gist of the story. Oh, that's so cute, Edith. You got like a back shoulder. That's cool. My grandmother went with me to my peacock on my shoulder. I'll never cuz Oh, that's so sweet. Hey Tony, happy Thursday. All right. Let me pull up. Um so I've got one interrogation of Kyle so far, but there is a couple. So we'll start with that and then um go into Amber's. Hold on. Let me get it pulled up. I have to do it like a weird way because I haven't dropped them on the channel yet. Yeah, that is raw anger, what we just saw there from Seth Jackson's dad. This one. Okay.
Sit right there so your mom can sit next to you.
And that one where he was showing all that raw anger is from where Piers Morgan went and talked to them. I think it was this year or the end of last year. You think it was Amber's fault because she lured him to the place? You think so? Yeah, and we saw that with the text messages. She did. She lured him there. Oh my goodness. You're so funny, Abellis.
Are you Kyle's mom? I see right here.
You think they're all equally guilty? They all had a hand in it. I can't get over the adult. I think it was the stepdad or something that went and helped throw the buckets of Seth's remains into the quarry. Like, where did the adult come into it? What were you thinking, sir?
I'm Detective Stewart. How are you doing today? Nice to meet you. Your name is Tracy? And you must be Kyle.
Yes, ma'am.
I know.
Blind.
Blind as blind can be. I need to talk to you both. Do you want to talk to me both at the same time?
It don't matter.
Is that?
All right, he might as well. I need to know when. I want to know.
Are you going to be honest
Yep.
with Mom in here?
He has no.
Okay.
He actually confessed to me this morning.
Okay. So we'll just do this all at one time. Get confirmation. Okay. You know that I have to read
Yes.
your rights. Okay. I don't necessarily. You were not involved in any way, so I don't have to read them to you, but I do have to read them to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I need you to understand them. And if at any point
You said, Cindy said, I think the stepdad was misguidingly trying to protect them. And yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Your daughter who falls asleep while getting tattooed, I don't know if I could do that.
anything you don't understand, you need to tell me and we'll work it out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let you read it along with me. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Okay, right there, I want to reiterate if you ever unfortunately find yourself or a loved one being questioned, I'm going to tell you now to get an attorney because right there, everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Ask for an attorney. Just putting that out there.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned.
You
You
did.
cannot afford to hire a lawyer. One will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And this is important. You can decide at any time to execute these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. That means that at any time in our conversation, if you decide, I don't want to talk to you anymore, then you just tell me that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
it asks here, do you understand each of these rights? I've explained them to you. If you do, I need you to initial there. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now, which would be me?
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to initial there, signature, and print your name.
Yes, ma'am.
She made sure to reiterate at any time you can stop talking to me and I need you to know that. Like I'm wondering if she was trying to give him clues like about, maybe don't talk about certain things or something. Your daughter uses hypnosis to go to the dentist. I told y'all they had to put me to sleep. Like I can't even lay back in the chair. It's hard. Like I'll start hyperventilating just laying in the daggum chair.
Where do you live?
In
You just look
Summerfield.
familiar. You look familiar.
Do I? I've
Yeah.
got
How long have you lived
Mm-mm.
there?
my whole life.
I used to own the Sunset Harbor Marina.
Really?
Yeah, from 1997 to 2000, and I sold it to the girl from New Hampshire,
Oh,
Sandy.
okay. Over going towards past
The
Lake
middle
River.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, just past the middle school.
Yeah. So you want to do that no more?
You're married to me.
I know.
Every
I
day.
did the restaurant thing
Oh,
myself.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Is that a new tattoo?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Tribal tattoos?
Yes, ma'am. What's up, that one?
So this was 2011 during the age of tribal tattoos. Everybody was getting tribal tattoos. I had a chance to get some free, but I chickened out because it was with just a needle and Indian ink. I don't I don't think I was drunk enough. More tats, yeah. I don't know if I'd do it that way, even if it was free.
Tell me what they're about. Tell
Now
me.
that I'm older.
No, this is just like what was it like?
It was just a piece they picked up that
Yeah,
they just
nice.
liked. They just thought it was neat looking.
Yeah, and then I have this down on this.
So are you gonna end up getting this colored in?
Yeah, it's not finished.
It's not finished.
Okay. First of all, let me get your full name.
Okay, Tracy,
Tracy.
E-Y,
Tracy.
C-E-Y,
Okay, and your middle name.
and then Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T,
And your address.
Southeast, 51st Corps in Summerfield.
And your date of birth, Tracy.
8/22/73.
I like that tribe, Tom.
82.
Oh, my dad's birthday is August 2nd.
Really?
Yeah.
And your name, sir?
Kyle.
Kyle.
Yes, ma'am. And Hooper.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am. And then
YouTube is weird,
H-O-P,
Blue Jay, sometimes.
And your date of birth.
794.
7/19/94.
Yeah,
7/19/94.
Mhm.
Okay. The first thing I want to ask you is, do you know where Seth's body is right now? Do you know where it's at?
Well, he was, Mike was talking about somewhere by Gander Mountain, there's a rock quarry. He, that's where it possibly could be, over there by Gander Mountain.
Okay.
I don't know where it's located, I've never heard of it over there.
So you weren't there when that happened?
No, ma'am, I was at work yesterday.
Okay.
So,
Let's start back with, tell me the story that you told your mom and start from the beginning, okay?
okay. A couple days before the incident, probably it was about Friday, somewhere around there.
Maybe Friday.
Seth and a couple kids, they wanted to come out and fight Mike, and Mike wanted to come out there because supposedly he had a warrant out for his arrest or something like that. I don't know the case being. And well,
Now,
Sorry, that's his
It's okay.
dad.
it's okay. Did you want to step out?
Can I for a second?
Sure.
That's-
Step right outside that door. You mind if I keep talking?
No, because I already know the story.
Okay. So on Friday, Seth and a couple other kids, like who's the other?
I really don't know the other kids that was with him. I just know Seth. They were on bikes. They were in front of Charlie's house, and
Charlie, whose house?
the girl that's in the room there, that had the green shirt on.
Okay. And
She owns the house, I guess. Or whatever.
okay, so they're out in front of Charlie's house on bikes.
And they kept on calling Amber, my sister's phone, blowing it up and stuff like that. But Mike wanted to go out there and fight.
Oh my God.
And
Mike.
Mike Bargo,
Cara, that's awful. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Yeah, that's awesome, Abelis.
the one,
Okay.
Mike Bargo.
What'd you call him, Michael?
Mike Bargo.
Mike.
I think it's Mike Bargo Jr.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was going on, and then a couple days late, Sunday night or whatever, I guess Seth wanted to talk to my sister. I don't know. I was going to sleep or whatever, because I had to go to work the next day, and I really wasn't paying attention. Well, they come back to the house.
Who's they?
My sister, Amber, and Charlie.
Okay.
And I guess they met up with Seth over at Bobby Hills Estates and up the road or whatever. I don't know. And then I'm still laying down. They come in the house, and about, I guess, like an hour or so later on, Seth come to the house. And I don't like the kid completely because he has put his hands on my sister.
Okay.
Okay. And he come in.
I understand. Now, was your sister? No, I don't know if I got this right. Was she dating
Mm-hmm.
Seth at one
yeah,
time and
at
then
one
dating
time.
Mike?
No.
No, okay.
Mike, his dad and I grew up together. We've known him forever.
Okay, so Mike.
Now you saw all the pictures. I'll pull them back up real quick. Let me do this. Now she was dating Seth at one time. That there's a picture of that, and they seemed to be very much in love with each other. They had a bad breakup. They were, mean to each other, whatever. taking friends from each other. And supposedly Amber knew that Seth and Michael didn't get along. And then you have all these pictures of Amber with Michael. Like that's her brother, but that looks right there, that looks like dating to me. They go to a dance together and everything. And she later admits that they were having sexual relations and that she was doing it just to make Seth Jackson mad. Michael Bargo he was already running from charges of uh, statutory rape of a child, I guess because he was 18 and he had hooked up with a girl. I don't know how old she was. I don't know the story much about that. I don't know if I could find it because he still might have been a juvenile during that time period. And this girl Charlie, everybody's staying at her house, but like I just don't understand how all this happened. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Was it because Amber is so manipulative and just trying to make them fight over her, like, and she wanted it to go to this length? Or was it because Michael Bargo was already just so depraved? I think I'll always have a lot of questions about this case in general.
Margo is a family friend,
Yeah.
and he has a problem with Seth because of the same thing you do, that he's put his hands
Yes.
on.
But I wasn't gonna go out and do that. But he come in and I come out Mike's room and I see him, so I pick up a stick that was in the.
Now you came out of Mike's room, so Mike stays with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike Bargo stays at your house.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Charlie's house.
Charlie's
I've
house.
only
He
been there
moved
for.
out.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
only
okay.
there for a week.
Okay, so you moved into Charlie's house.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what the address is of that
I
house?
couldn't tell you. It's a couple blocks
Dave
up.
has it on
Okay. So just let me. Charlie, you and Mike all live in the same
And
house.
Roach. There's another.
Yeah,
They,
Roach.
I don't know his real name. They call him Roach.
Justin Soto.
Justin Soto. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you all live at? You guys all live together in one house?
Yes, and
Okay.
Amber was staying there, but a little bit. And there was a stick, and I was like, you know what? And I hit him over the head with the stick.
Who'd you hit?
Seth.
Okay.
And he was in the chair, and I.
Tom said, when I was young, if I broke up with someone or vice versa, you didn't kill them. Call me old fashioned, I guess. No doubt. Like, I've seen that, some kids will, like some girls, depending on their personalities, would like it when guys would fight over them, but that's about as far as it went. Nobody died. Like, this case is crazy.
got in the kitchen. I said, now get the fuck out the house. And then all of a sudden I hear bam, bam, bam. Mike sitting there laying bullets into him.
And it's not only that he died, it's like what they did with him after he died or possibly while he was still alive. Um, there's some discrepancy on whether Seth Jackson was alive when they put him in the bathtub and broke his kneecaps and removed his teeth and all of that they did. And who, like, even, I mean, you got to remember these are freaking kids. Like, why? Who thinks to put a body in a bathtub and do all that as a child? It's insane. It's insane. Charlie did an interview on When Girls Kill. So sad. Charlie legit seems scared in the one interview I've seen of her thus far. I've always hated drama, which is why I didn't date much in high school. Some girls really love that, though. Right. I didn't date much in high school either. I was always hanging out with people who weren't in school, and I shouldn't have been. Oh, yeah, this one's bad, too.
So you saw Mike Bargo shoot Seth?
Yes, ma'am. And he grabbed the body, put it into the bathtub, and then he was talking about how he was gonna burn it, and then there was a rock quarry over here by Gander Mountain or whatever, and he was gonna jump the ashes or whatever into the rock quarry.
Okay.
And
so he was gonna go burn the body and then take the ashes and put them in the rock quarry. Did he ever tell you where he burnt the body?
In the burn barrel at that house, because how I know this.
Oh, wait a second. At the burn barrel at Charlie's
it's not
house?
a burn barrel, it's a burn pit.
Oh, a burn pit.
And we never, and I was in the house. I wasn't gonna. I seen the body, and he put it in like a bag or whatever, like a sleeping bag.
Hold on a minute now. In that house, where was Seth sitting when Michael Bargo shot him? Was he sitting in a chair?
The same place when I hit him, because he was kind of a little dazed. He wasn't knocked out or nothing. But then I got in the kitchen, because here's a couch, and then next to it there's like a seat like that.
Okay.
And then there's a couch against the other side of the wall, and then there's a TV where he was sitting in the chair.
Okay, so it's the only chair in the living room.
The only chair.
Okay.
And I hit him.
Is it leather?
No, ma'am. It's
Material.
Yeah.
Is there blood on the chair?
No. I don't know. I know he dragged the body and put it into the bathtub, and he put it in what she said, a sleeping bag, and dragged it out the back door. And he said he was gonna burn it. And what my sister and Charlie told me, he went because they were in the room, Charlie's room in the bathroom, because they heard the gunshots. They went in there when I grabbed the stick and I went to hit him. And
what was Seth doing when you hit him?
He was sitting there, and I guess he wanted to talk to my sister again. And because Amber and Charlie, they were sitting on the couch by the wall. And he come in there, and Charlie let him in, and I guess they didn't, realize. I don't know what it was.
Charlie didn't know all the details with Amber and Seth, so she didn't think it was a big deal to let him come in.
Okay.
And then, and I didn't like him.
Did Seth do anything to Amber while he was in the house?
No, ma'am. As soon as I seen him, I hit him, and I told him to get out the house. And then,
so he came in and he sat down in that chair in the living room.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where's the stick you hit him with now?
Everything was picked up. Everything. I don't know.
Hey Abraham. Tom said, so you see a body and don't call the cops? No. Like they not only did they not call the cops, okay, they invited him over on the premise of knowing that Michael Bargo was going to try to fight him. They see Michael Bargo shoot him. I feel like Amber was egging it on because she's the one that set up the meeting. I mean, again, let's go back to that real quick. Hold on just a minute. Window. So again, she texts him, and he's saying to her, Amber, if you have me jumped, I will never forgive you, basically is what he was trying to say. And she's like, I swear I'm not, Seth. I could never do that to you. I just want you and me back. Meanwhile, taking all these pictures with Michael Bargo, like she knew. She definitely knew what she was doing. It wasn't about getting Seth back. It was about getting Seth over there so Michael Bargo could beat him up. Yes, I get it. She likes drama. She, for whatever reason, wanted that to happen. But did she mess with the wrong one and not realize that he was going to, like, legit do everything that he did? Who was the mastermind? Was it more so him than her, or was it more so her than him? Like, she definitely is the one who sent the text messages. Seth had a bad feeling and went anyway. And I mean, waited for her. She waited for him and everything, but did she know Michael was going to do all that? Who is the main person responsible? Hey, Queen Olive Ruth Ann. Good to see you. Yeah, both of her children are involved in this. She lost both of her children that one day. I'm going to try to do the Piers Morgan thing where he went back and talked to them. I think it was like late last year, if we can, without getting in trouble. She's definitely an instigator, and she definitely pushed for it, but did she know all this was going to happen?
Everything was picked up by Mike, everything.
Okay.
Because I ran out the front door. And I sat out there, and I don't know, everything was picked up when I come in the house. I don't.
So Mike cleaned up everything?
Yeah. Yes,
was there any blood on the floor?
I think on the carpet. I don't know about I don't know about anything in the kitchen. I don't know anything because I ran out the door when I seen him.
So as soon as Mike Bargo shot him, you went out the door?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how many times did Mike shoot him?
I don't know. I heard because he has a 22 revolver,
Mhm.
and I think he laid the whole revolver into him. I don't know.
Where's that revolver now? Do you know?
He's always okay. There's a place under the trailer,
Mhm.
and since he had a warrant out for arrest, but as far as what the deputy told me, he didn't.
Right. Yeah.
I guess, but he told me there was.
I
So
think he was a suspect in a case.
yeah. So
I don't know
he
if there
said that if anything were to happen, he was gonna jump into the vent, and he had the air conditioning thing cut open the tube,
Uh-huh.
and was gonna jump into it and roll over it, so nobody's seen him.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. He could have. He was talking about stashing things in there or whatever.
In the air conditioning duct.
Yeah, in front of the bathroom.
Okay.
That
Is it big enough for him to get in there?
Yeah, he's pretty short and small. So
how big is Seth?
Seth is tall and really scrawny.
Who
He's
would
like
have
130
helped
pounds.
Mike move Seth?
He I don't know. Mike did it all on himself, man. Like he grabbed, I don't know. Like I come in there and he was pulling him out the back door.
Okay, did you see a fire in the backyard? In the burn
Hey,
pit?
Ashley.
Was it hot?
Yeah, it was pretty hot.
So there was a fire going.
Yes, ma'am. There was a fire because I looked out the window and there was a fire. But he never threatened me. Really, he just said if anybody would have said anything, because he had the gun waving around. He said if anybody would have ever said anything, he was gonna come back and shoot him.
Who else saw him shoot Seth?
Just me.
You were the only one in the house?
No, Amber and Charlie were in her room.
Okay, so they didn't actually see it.
No.
What did Amber and Charlie see? Did they see him hauling him in the sleeping bag?
They were in
They
the
told
room
me
the
he
whole
said
time.
that they better not even come out of the room or there's going to be 2 more bodies.
Okay. That's
And then he come back in the room. He come back into the house, and I was sitting on the couch.
I think it's this part right here. There's one part that kind of blew my mind when I was going through this to add the captions. Evidently, Michael had plans for more than just Seth.
And he was like, "Listen."
Oh,
He was like, "Listen. By the end of the week, I want to have at least 8 bodies." He was.
So Michael Bargo shoots Seth Jackson at the girl Charlie's house because he's living there with Kyle, and Amber is Kyle's little sister, so she's always over there hanging out. He shoots Seth. He kills Seth. He decapitates him in the bathtub, removes all that child's teeth, breaks his kneecap so they can shove him in a sleeping bag. They burn him in the burn pit, and then they take painter's buckets of his ashes and remains and throw them into a rock quarry. Okay, and then after all that, Michael Bargo says, "I want to have 8 bodies by the end of the week. 8." One more than 7, one less than 9. 8. Excuse me, what? 18-year-old kid. He had had some juvenile charges. I think he had a warrant out for his arrest. I mean, he was obviously a bad kid. But, like, that is concerning. And considering he just committed a homicide, may be true. Why does he need to kill 8 people? Yeah, Amber and Kyle are brother and sister, and that is their mother, and they do all look alike. That bright red hair and everything. I love red hair. I saw a baby. I was at the grocery store, and this woman was carrying her little baby, putting him in the car seat, and he had the reddest hair. It was so adorable. I love red hair. So cute. But yeah, 8 bodies by the end of the week.
Talking about this girl Tessa, Chrissy, her father or her stepfather, whatever.
Tessa is the girl he got the statutory rape charge against. So Tessa is another young girl, 14, 15, 16, 17, something like that. I don't know exactly how old. And evidently her parents caught them having relations. From what I understand, I'd have to look more into it. I could be wrong. I think her parents caught them having relations and pressed charges on him.
Chris, this guy Chris.
These are other people that Mike
Right?
wants to kill.
He wants to
he
do
wants
8
them
other
all.
people before the end of the week.
And he was like, "I'm going to prison anyways." So, and he was talking about if he would ever do anything, he would burn the body. He would set it off into the rock, into like a quarry. The
Aw.
rock quarry.
What made me suspicious, and this is crazy, but not knowing anything, I saw Mike at 11:30 yesterday morning.
So this woman speaking right now is Kyle and Amber's mother, and she is friends with Michael Bargo's father, Michael Bargo Sr. Michael Bargo lives with his grandmother. So they're like all live in the same neighborhood and have known each other for years.
And he was, I don't know.
Hey, Miss
You'd have to know
Scorpio.
Mike to know how he is. And
How old is Mike?
18.
He's 18.
And he says to me, because he called me mom, he says, Mom, would you think something, would you still love me if I did something? And he kept specifying to that effect. And I said, well, what'd you do? He's like, well, nothing. He's like, I just want to know if you would still love me if I did something. I said, well, it depends on what you done. I mean, what'd you do? And he wouldn't not answer. He just nonchalantly like, nothing. He just, I just want to know what you'd say. And I was like, okay. And then a little while later, he's like, well, I got a gun. And he's like, and then the guy I bought the gun from said that he's mad because I didn't register it in my name and it's still in his name.
Did he tell you who
No.
bought the gun?
It's from I think it's from a guy named I know his brother. I think Justin Soder. Not him. Another Justin Soder. I went through
I
surgery
don't
with.
know. He didn't say.
I know something like that. He bought the gun off of him, and
Bought it from Justin's brother.
yeah, no,
Justin Soto's brother.
not that Justin
Right,
Soder.
different Justin Soto.
Yeah,
that went to
his
Summerfield.
older brother.
Justin's older brother.
Yes, ma'am. Something like that.
So the guy was mad that he didn't register the gun in his name and
Yeah.
it's still in.
Abraham said, I'm working on an episode on Letitia. I'm digging into her early years, which most people don't know about. That's cool. I would like to know more about Letitia's early years.
his. And Mike said, well, what'd you expect me to do? I'm a felon. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what are you doing with the gun anyway? And he's like, well, nothing. He's like, I just, whatever. And I'm like, Mike, really,
Well, he kept on telling me the only reason why he actually had the gun was self-protection. And which I asked him, I said, if you don't have no problems, why do you need the gun?
Do you know when he got the gun?
I really don't know. I remember the first time about 2 months ago, he showed me it. We were walking up to the store. He had it in his gym shorts.
Does he usually carry it?
Yeah, all the time. He always has it. And then, but for a while before he moved out the house, he ran away. His grandma had the gun, and then he took it back, or whatever.
Where does his grandmother live?
like little ways from me. They're all in the neighborhood.
Do you know what her name is?
I know.
I know the dad's name. I don't. I know.
What's his
Mike
dad's?
Bargo.
Mike Bargo Sr.
Okay. Does he live with grandma?
Yes.
Mike. So Mike Bargo lives with his mother.
His
Yes,
grandma. Yeah, though it's dad does, yes.
Mike Bargo Sr.
Yeah,
lives
lives
with
his mom.
grandma.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Does Mike Bargo Sr. is he aware that Junior has a gun?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Michael Bargo Sr., which is Michael Bargo's dad, lives with his mother, which is Michael Bargo's grandmother, and is aware that his son, that is a convicted felon at the age of 18, is walking around with a firearm and should not have one, and has a warrant for statutory rape and all of that. And the dad is just like, oh, okay, whatever, you do you, boo. Like, what the fuck? What the hell's even going on here?
And then, it was funny because yesterday when he was talking to me, a lot of times, when kids talk to you, you kind of block them out because they're ridiculous with things they say. It's like, okay, I don't want to hear it. And then he said another comment to me. He said, I had to put stuff in a burn barrel or something.
So the boy sitting there is Kyle. That is Amber's brother. He was living in the house where Michael Bargo was. Amber was hanging out with her brother, who is Kyle, who's sitting on the couch. I can pull up the pictures again. Hold on. Because it is a lot to kind of take in, all these people that were involved. I don't have a picture of the stepdad yet. I need to get one of him. Okay. So this is Seth Jackson, your homicide victim. The boy on the couch is Kyle. This is Kyle. Kyle's little sister is Amber. Okay. Kyle, for whatever reason, doesn't live with mom. So he moved into Charlie's house. This is Charlie. Charlie owns a house. Okay. Kyle lives with Charlie. And Amber is Kyle's younger sister. So Amber's over there with Kyle at Charlie's house. Roach lives with Charlie. Michael lives with Charlie. So Michael's there too. So the people in the house are Michael, Roach, at Amber visiting her brother Kyle, and Charlie. And then Amber and Michael have some kind of thing going on. Kyle is the one that's sitting on the couch talking right now. And the homicide victim is this boy right here, Seth Jackson, who is Amber's ex. Oh, that's not. And there's a picture of them together at somebody's house, Kyle and Michael. So they seem to be friends too. They both live in the same house with Roach and Charlie.
Something. He said I had to get rid of some stuff in a burn barrel. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, and he was making a big thing about it. I said, well, what the hell do you have to burn that you're making a big issue? He's like, oh, I can't tell you that. It's evidence. And I said, evidence of what? And he's like, I can't tell you that. And I was like, Mike, quit being ridiculous.
So in the area he was in, though, around that house, there's not a burn barrel, but there is a burn pit.
Yeah, and then he's like, and then he kind of blew it off, and he's like, oh, I just had to burn my marijuana, some wooden marijuana bowl, he said. And I'm like, Mike, you're just, you know, he was irritating me is what he was doing. But what the thing of it was, is I blocked him out, and it wasn't until this morning that it just started
clicking.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. I said, I think he was almost trying to confess something to me.
The fire.
And you know, I've been wanting to say something, man.
Sure.
And I don't know. I was scared. And then when she come up to me about it this morning,
That's what I did. I said, Kyle.
I had to finally tell her, man, I couldn't sleep at all last night.
I said, what did you burn in a burn barrel? And he said, how do you know? And then I said, what did you do? I said, did you burn bloody clothes? Was it about what did you do? Because all of a sudden everything started to make sense. And then he broke down.
So yeah, Amber and Charlie went to meet up with Seth, and they brought him back to Charlie's house where Kyle and Michael were lying in wait, and Roach was there as well. Yeah. Damn kids cosplaying as badasses, but damn. And the main guy, yeah, he's still on death row. Youngest person in Florida history to be sentenced to death row, Michael Bargo. Yeah, that phone is loud as hell. That's her phone. I don't think that he realizes what kind of deep shit he's in either. All these kids shared one brain, so what can we expect? No doubt.
Well, let me ask you this. You care if I talk to him just a minute by himself?
No, I don't. I feel like it's okay for you to do that.
Come on.
There's like a minute here I left in because he does seem to like be really scared and remorseful, but he didn't pull the trigger. He didn't lure Seth over there or anything. But he's still culpable. I don't know. I will say supposedly Kyle was doing methamphetamine. Michael sold Xanax and things like that.
Hey, Kyle. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay?
Hey, Southern.
I don't really that you're minimizing stuff that you've done to me because mom's here. Your mother's gonna love you no matter what you did, no matter what you saw, no matter what you had a hand in, okay? I know because I'm a mother. No matter what, you love your children, and I'm sure that she will do everything in the world for you. but I need you to be honest with me because I can look at you in the eyes, look at me, and I can tell you that you're not being honest with me. It's very important, okay, that I know the truth and I know everything. Okay? Can we make a deal on that?
Yeah, so at one point, Seth tried to run out the door and they grabbed him and pulled him back in. He had almost made it out the door and down the steps of the porch, and they grabbed him and pulled him back in. Yep, he did still have a part in it. Yeah, now it's parenting time. Right.
All right, let's start all over again.
Well, you know the story. But
Okay. Well, I know part of it.
no, that's basically the story.
Okay.
Okay, I did run at the house.
You did what, huh?
I did run at the house when I heard the shots. Okay.
Run out the house.
Run out the house.
Oh, out of the house.
I
Okay.
did run out the house when I heard the shots.
Okay. But did you see Michael Bargo shoot Seth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I come back in,
Mm-hmm.
and he was dragging the body, but he asked me for help.
Sure.
Okay. And I was scared. I was panicking, man. I didn't know what to do.
Sure. You never had anything like that happen to you before?
No, man. And I didn't know what to do, man.
Sure.
So
that's understandable.
I helped him. I
Okay,
brought it out to the burn pit,
Okay.
and and he helped me gather. He's like, "Can you help me gather up sticks and stuff like that?"
Hey, Indy and Vicky the Leo, good to see you. Yeah, Seth's parents are really destroyed from this. I mean, and who wouldn't be? You know, it's a horrible situation.
And, get it really hot.
Okay.
So I helped. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to tell my
I
parents and my
understand
mom.
that.
And
That's
dad.
okay. And you know what? Let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to say nothing wrong. That's going to be up to you. Okay? I just need to know, did you guys put the body into the burn pit?
Well, I grabbed him and I helped him put it in there. But
Okay.
then I walked back into the house and he did what he did. I told him
What
I
did
can't
he
do
do?
it. He burned the body.
Okay.
And I told him, I was out there and I told him, I was like, listen, whatever you do, you do. I can't help you no more, man. I got to go back into the house. He was like, all right. He's like, you do whatever you do, but don't say nothing. He's like, you can't say nothing to nobody. You have to promise me here.
Amber's still on death row. I'm not sure about Charlie, but Amber is on. I'm not death row. I'm sorry. Amber is doing life in prison, and I think it's LWOP, life without the possibility of parole.
And I said, okay, I promise you I ain't gonna say nothing, man. He's like, okay. So I went back into the house and I sat there and I took a shower and I come out and he's still out there burning.
Hey,
And he
Robert.
was out there all night long. I mean, burning.
Okay.
And Amber and Charlie, they were still in the room. I mean, Amber and Charlie, they come out there to tell me, and I told them to go back into the room and stay in there. And they did.
So the only thing Amber and Charlie heard was the gunshot?
That's it. They never seen the body.
They never
nothing.
saw the body. Right?
They never seen the body. Never seen nothing. I told him to go in there. And he come in there and there was bleach. And he's like, can you help me? I help you with what? He's like, I need you to help me
clean up the blood.
Yeah, because he had it in the bathtub, and he had to first put it in the bathtub.
So he put Seth's body in the bathtub first?
Yes, ma'am. He put it into the bathtub because I sat there and watched him come in there. When I come in there, after he was done shooting him, I seen him grab him, then I ran out. And I already knew what he was doing because he done told me before if he was doing anything, he told me step by step. He would put the body into a bathtub. He would find like a garbage bag or anything. He'd break his kneecaps. And he'd put him into some type of fold. Like he'd break his kneecaps, put him on it.
So Vera said Amber was the trigger. Hey, Basil. She lured him in. Of course, she's still in prison. If it weren't for her, this never would have happened. And yeah, I agree with that. She's definitely more culpable. But did she help aggravate it to go this far, or did she not know it was going to go this far? You know what I mean? Yeah. What's wrong with kids? They don't even think. Right. Hold on. Let me see. When I watched the Piers Morgan thing, she was in there. Amber. Okay. So it said that's her. And it says Amber Wright, then 15, lured Seth Jackson, her ex boyfriend, to a house where he was beaten and shot by 4 men in 2011. She was sentenced to life in prison for her role in the brutal killing and remains incarcerated in Florida. She's incarcerated at the Homestead prison in Florida. She's serving life without parole. But, oh, it says something about since she was a juvenile when she was sentenced, there's something more to it. But when I try to click on it, it won't. It says the page isn't working. And there's more pictures of her. That was her at trial. I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous, but like devious. I couldn't imagine 15 years old, something you did when you were 15 years old lands you in prison for the rest of your life without the possibility of parole. And then Michael Bargo is on death row. This was committed in 2011. She does look different now. I mean, but again, remember, she was 15 when all this happened.
His belly, fold his legs behind his back, and tie it with a rope, and he had duct tape and stuff like that. And
Is that what he did?
he hog tied it basically. That's what he basically told me, like a hog tie.
You didn't see this, but he told you that?
Yes, ma'am.
You did
That's
see
what
it?
no. That's what he would tell me he would do step by step if he ever did something like that.
Did he talk about killing somebody?
Let me see.
All the time. He was like, I'm already going. I'm gonna go to jail anyways. My life is over. I don't care no more.
What did he think his life was over from?
Supposedly he had a warrant out for his arrest over this girl Tessa for statutory rape, and he
So I asked when will Amber Wright get out of prison. It says Amber Wright is currently serving life in prison in Florida for her role in the 2011 murder of her 15-year-old ex-boyfriend. Her sentence is subject to review after 25 years. So what is that? 2036? Yeah, 2036 it can be reviewed. Because she was a juvenile, so I don't think she's still definitely in prison. Yeah, I shared your post, Rubber, about that girl. I don't know anything about her, but that story was really sad. I'll pull up I got it on my YouTube, and then I can click to yours real quick. I do wanna share that with y'all. Um, hold on. Okay, so I wrote, I wanted to share this from Rubber Ramada. This lovely lady is no longer with us. I didn't know who she was or her channel, but I do know the earth is a little bit smaller without her, and heaven has a new angel. And then this is the post. This girl, Michaela, from saveafox.org, ended her life, unfortunately. And from what I understand, it was because of online bullying. Which it really makes me sad because, like, she's got a fox there, like, she was saving animals and all kinds of things, and she's so pretty. I don't understand how somebody could bully her. It just goes to show even adults can be bullied, and I don't know, it's really sad. You have to I don't know, man, it's sad. Charlie Eli, yep, that's the girl she was released. I figured she was probably released. They all got second trials, and Charlie took a plea, and now she's out. I figured Charlie was out. I think I'll send her a green bologna sandwich. Oh my goodness, Max, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better, sweetheart. Yeah, thank you for sharing it. I didn't know her, but yeah, I hate that happened. May 2014, an appellate court overturned her conviction due to Miranda-related issues, ruling she deserved a new trial. February 2016, she was resentenced 25 years to life for first-degree murder. Okay. So I'm going to have to find the new trial, too. Thank you for that information, Abraham.
So he was staying at the house, and of course, we didn't think nothing of it, and we let him stay there or whatever. And and he was hiding out there. He wouldn't go outside. He wouldn't do nothing, but he wanted test. He had, because he's been talking about killing himself anyways. I walked into the room a couple times. He had his gun up to his neck, ready to kill him. I said, listen here, Mike. I said, I've known you since you moved down here. I've known you for 2 years. We've been tight. So you need to give me that gun. Give me the gun. Step away. He wanted to do it. He said he pulled it back. He said, if you come near me, it's over. He said, just get out the room. I said, okay. He's done that a couple times to me before. And I say, listen, Mike, don't do anything. My sister's in this fucking house. Don't do nothing. And he's like,
So he's been talking about killing somebody then?
yeah, he's been talking.
Kyle was very protective over his sister, and I think that's part of the reason why he went along with it too. And I think his sister was just a devious person. People are warriors behind keyboards. I would hope, and I would ask that if you ever feel bullied or get upset about things online. I mean, I don't know. I think at some point, if you just go back and forth, that's all it's ever going to be is a back and forth. You got to either ignore it or try to log off and just take a break, take a vacation. I mean, you could take a vacation to a hotel downtown and just get away and try to clear your mind. Take a walk on the nature trails that are free. We go all the time to the little free nature trails. The lake, when we go to the lake, sometimes you can go in and like go to the open beach area for free, or it'll be like $6 for an entire car, like $6 and the cost of some food, and you can stay at the lake all day. Just if it gets to be too much, I would ask that you please just log off or talk to somebody. It's not worth your life, especially people get behind keyboards and they are warriors and they ain't nothing in real life. And so it's not worth it. It really isn't.
Talking about he wanted Seth bad. I mean, he's been wanting him bad because he loves my sister to death, like a little sister. And he has put his hands on Amber. Seth has, and he don't like that. And he wasn't even gonna fight him. And he's like, I don't care no more. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm not using my hands no more. I'm using this gun. And when I hit him, Mike come out. He heard the noise, I guess, and I told him to get the fuck out the house.
Okay, so that video ended abruptly right there. Now, I've got more audios of him that we'll have to go through, but I've got all of Amber's uploaded. Vero, Basil's doing good. I had to get new air conditioners because the ones we had weren't cooling him off. And, he's like always wearing a fur coat. So he's been staying a lot cooler than he was. So he's doing really good. I always take my 5-year-old daughter on the trails and walk in the stream by our house. I'm in Colorado Springs, and there's so many trails. Best therapy ever. It is. I like to see the birds and things like that. All right, so we will go into Amber's interrogations. Now, keep in mind, she's a master manipulator. So it's interesting to hear what she has to say. I've got all of hers, and then we'll have to continue on as I get more of these uploaded. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Hold on just a minute. I'm thinking about making some new shirts and things too. I got to work on that this week. All right, so this is going to be Amber with her mother. The mastermind, possibly. I think that she definitely needs to be in prison for quite a while. She can have like, it's kinda like the same Marilyn Manson thing, like, if you can convince people to do all that for you, that's where she needs to
Everybody
be.
okay? Okay. I introduced myself before. My name's Rhonda, okay? And I'm gonna talk to you about this, okay? Do you want to have mom in here while you talk to me about it? That's okay with you?
Um, I wanted to say I think that's really cool, Holly, and, I'm glad that you do that. It is really great. I've never been to Colorado Springs, but I could only imagine.
Okay. So it's Amber, Amber, Elizabeth, right. And what's your date of birth, huh?
Yep.
1996.
And your address. What's your address now?
Same as me.
Okay, 138
Hey, Nessa.
Southeast 51st Court.
I was obsessed with Charles Manson and that story for a long time.
And let's see here. Do you have a cell number?
470
Uh-huh.
1385.
Okay. Okay, I just need you to tell me the story. And let's start with the other night. I understand that you and Charlie went to another neighborhood or went down the street. Tell me how this all comes about.
Well, me and him were already talking on the phone.
Me and him.
Seth.
Okay, you and Seth. Did Seth call you or did you call Seth?
Well, he had called me a couple days before that and I didn't answer.
Okay.
So I called him that night.
And you and Seth, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? You two had a relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
Was he, how was your relationship with him?
Not the best.
Tell me.
So I didn't correct the spelling of Seth in this one. I don't know why, but his name is spelled Seath.
Why you say not the best.
We'd always fight. He'd always hit me and cheat on me and all that.
So he was physically abusive to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Who all knew that?
Me, Charlie, my brother,
Okay, so Kyle knew about it. Did Mike know about it?
possibly.
Was there a lot of people in the neighborhood just that ran around with you guys that knew this?
Yeah.
Because your mom, I understand, knew it.
Mhm.
Okay. So Seth had called you a few days before.
Mm-hmm.
You called him back, and what day was that?
Mm-hmm.
Today's Tuesday.
I think it was Sunday night.
Sunday night.
It was the night that this all happened.
Okay, so you called Seth, and what did Seth say?
Well, it started off, I was like, hey, I know you called me the other day and I didn't answer, but you wanted to make up. So do you want to make up or like try and be friends or something?
She's talking real low and fast because she's nervous and she's trying to come off as like innocent. Content said this is the Miranda issue. She got her first case reversed on. Her mom granted permission, but then left the room. I think her leaving and the cop continuing to question Amber is why she got a new trial. Very possible. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up so this gets shared out. And it I think that the more it's watched or viewed, the more like ad revenue that um will go to the fundraiser, but I'm not sure exactly how that works.
I'm sorry for everything. And he was like, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea for the both of us because we're both tired of fighting with each other. And we
Yep.
just wanted to stop the drama.
So were you guys going to get back together as a couple?
No, we were just going to try and be friends.
Okay.
Because we were friends before we were dating.
Okay.
We were really close.
Okay.
And he was like, well, you should walk down here. And I was like, well, if I walk down there, I'm not walking alone because it's too dark. So can my friend Charlie come?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, sure, I guess.
Where was Seth at when he said walk down here?
The neighborhood at the end of my road, Bellevue Ridge Estates.
Okay, so Seth was at Bellevue Ridge. Whose house was he at down there?
He said something about Brittany.
I'm sorry, who?
Brittany.
Brittany?
No, it's Brittnay.
Brittnay.
N-A-Y.
Oh, Brittany. Oh, so he was at Brittany's house.
He doesn't live with her. He was just over there.
Just visiting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and she lives on where now? Do you know
He said Bellevue Ridge Estates.
Okay, do you know what street it is?
No, man.
Okay.
Because I met him because there's a road that goes into the neighborhood. I didn't go in the neighborhood. I met him at the end of the road.
Do you know what road that is?
I don't know the name of the road. It's off of 140th.
It's off 140th,
It's
we
all-
were pretty much standing on 140th
140th
Street.
Street.
Street or Street.
Okay. Okay, so you guys went down there and talked.
We were talking for maybe like not even 30 minutes.
Okay.
And his mom, I guess, texted him. And I was like, who are you texting? I thought we were talking. And he was like, my mom told me either right now or never. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess they started arguing, whatever. And then he looked at me. He's like,
Arguing with his mom through
Yes.
text. Okay.
and I guess he called her a bitch.
So at this point, she sent the text messages and is standing there with Charlie and Seth, and they're standing on this road 140 or whatever. And Seth gets a text from his mom saying that she's coming to pick him up, and they're arguing.
Or whatever. I didn't want to get in it. And then he was like, look, I'm not in the mood to talk right now. I'm getting out of here for now. I'll see you around. And he walks off.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I guess. So Charlie was like, well, do you want to just walk back down to the house? And I was like, yeah, I guess. So we got back down to her house. We're watching TV. And then like an hour later, Seth comes knocking on the door. Charlie answered it and was like, what do you want? And he was like, can I just talk to Amber so we can figure things out?
Did Seth call you before he came down?
No,
there?
ma'am.
So he just showed up an hour later.
Yeah.
When you came back, did you talk to your brother or Michael about what Seth had said, or that you guys had had a conversation? Did they know?
No, they didn't know what we talked about.
Okay.
Kyle asked me where I was going, and I just told him I was like, I'm going to talk to Seth and try and figure things out.
Okay.
That's it.
And how did Kyle feel about that?
Kyle was like, I don't really think you should go down there and talk to him. You know what he's done to you and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I'm tired of fighting, so I'd rather just squish everything.
Right. So you and Charlie come back to the house.
We were sitting on the couch with
Where was
Kyle.
Seth? Or I'm sorry, where was Kyle and Mike when you came back to the house?
Kyle was in the living room.
Okay.
Mike was off in his room like he always is.
Okay.
He never comes out.
So he had no idea you went to see Seth, or that you came back from seeing Seth, that you're aware of.
I didn't tell him.
Okay. And Kyle's in the living room. What's Kyle doing?
Kyle was
So I'm gonna try to Nessa, when we get to that part, I'm gonna try to go through all of the interrogations as much as we can. And then when we get to where we've gone through the interrogations and the trial and everything, I am going to try to pull the interview. But I uploaded the intro video and it had part of that in it. And the first one that I did had more of Piers Morgan in it, and they copyrighted me, and I had to delete that upload and then like take some of Piers Morgan out of it, and then it didn't copyright me. So I don't know. Piers Morgan is a hard one to play without getting a copyright, but I'll definitely try. I'll have to see, like, maybe if we do it unmonetized that day, where it's not monetized that day, maybe we can play it, because I do want to go over it with you guys. But it'll be a while before we get there, because we're going to go through the whole trial and everything.
just sits there and watch TV like he always does.
Okay,
you
so
know.
he's just watching TV in the living room. Mike's
Hey,
in the back.
Andy.
Okay, and then what happens? Seth comes to
Seth
the house?
knocked on the door and Charlie answered it, and she was like, well, what do you want? And he was like, I just need to talk to Amber. Can I come in? She let him in. He sits in the chair. Me and her sitting by each other on the couch. And out of nowhere, Kyle just gets up and hits him.
Where was Kyle sitting when Seth came in the house?
There's a couch, like the kitchen is whenever you first walk in the house.
Okay.
And then it's the living room. The couch was up against this wall.
Okay.
And then here's another couch. And then the chair was right here. So the couch and the chair is here.
Uh-huh.
Seth was here. And Kyle
I'm doing all right.
Kyle just got up out of nowhere.
What did he say? Did he say anything to Seth?
No. Like, I didn't know that if he, like, I didn't think anything was going to happen. I mean, because I never knew Kyle would just get out of nowhere and hit somebody like that.
What did Kyle hit him with?
I don't know what he grabbed.
Do you know where he grabbed it from?
It was on the floor.
Okay.
And, like, as soon as he got up and, like, he went towards Seth and hit him.
Right.
To Charlie, I was like, run. We ran to her room, went in her bathroom and shut the door.
Okay.
And then we heard a door flew open, and then we just
Did you hear Kyle say anything to Seth?
Kyle just said, now get the F out of my house.
Okay.
That's,
So there was no argument before that?
no,
Nothing like that?
no. It was
You
just
think so?
got up. hit
Right
him.
now?
He hit him like one time that I know of.
Hmm.
And then he walked away and said, get the F out of my house.
What did Seth do after Kyle hit him?
He got up. and me and Charlie took off to her room and locked her. Like she didn't lock our bathroom, but we slammed the door.
What, did you just stand up from the chair? Did you stand up and walk out the door? Or
He just jumped up,
okay.
and by then me and Charlie took off to her
Okay.
room. We shut the bathroom door, and we heard another door just fly open, and we just heard gunshot after gunshot after gunshot. And after maybe like 5 or 6 times of hearing it got quiet. And then
And they didn't come out of that room for the rest of the daggum night, per everybody's story, which I don't believe either.
I hear Kyle go, "What did you just do?" And then Michael went in the room and was like, "If you say one word of what I did, I will have 2 more bodies to
Went
get
into
rid of."
what room with you and Charlie?
He just walks in the room and was like, "If you say anything or even come out of this room, there's just going to be 2 extra bodies to get rid of."
Okay.
So me and Charlie were
Thank
pretty
you.
much stuck in her room the whole time.
Okay. Did you hear Michael say anything to Seth?
No, because whenever I was out there, he didn't.
Michael wasn't out there when you were
No,
out there.
he was just in his room, and whenever me and Charlie.
How long was it before when you ran from the living room after Kyle hit Seth and you ran into them? How long was it before you heard shots?
Not even a minute.
How do you think Michael knew Seth was out there?
He probably heard him talking.
Okay. So it's one of them things where it's not that far apart.
Yeah, the house is
The
very
house is-
small.
He would know
It's
Seth's
small.
voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why does Michael not like Seth?
Because he likes Amber.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So have you ever dated Michael?
We've never dated, but we've always had a thing for each other,
Okay.
but never dated.
Okay. Did he ever ask you to date?
No.
How did you know he had a thing for you?
Because he'd always tell me how much he'd like me.
And he
he'd be
followed me
like,
around telling me, I like your daughter. Your daughter will go out with me.
Oh, okay.
that kind of stuff.
Okay. He never asked to date her, but he's following her mom around like, I like your daughter, and your daughter won't go out with me. I mean, I think asking somebody to go out is asking to date, especially in 2011. Amber is a great example of how looks can be deceiving, that girl. Absolutely. She does admit to a lot. But I mean, again, she's only 15.
Okay. So, but as far as you know,
This is
and
Amber,
I just
yeah.
want to try to recap it, and please, if I'm wrong in any way, you let me know. You correct me, okay? What I understand is Sunday night, you called Seth back because he had called you a few days before and you didn't answer.
Okay.
You call him up, you talk to him, and he says, well, you guys decide that you want to sit down and talk and try to
Yeah,
get
'cause
your
we would
friendship
rather
back.
have done it in person than over the phone, where
Right.
we just end up arguing and hanging up.
Okay. So you and Charlie
Yes,
go
ma'am.
down here on 140th Street and you meet Seth, and everything was fine. There was no argument.
No.
There was no screaming. He didn't put his hands on you. He didn't do anything like that.
Well, I gave him a hug. Whenever
Okay,
I first
but I'm
got
talking about
there. Yeah.
anything abusive.
The only thing that he did is whenever he started walking away from arguing with his mom, I was like, "Where are you going?" And I like stepped in front of him and he pushed me aside
Uh-huh.
and was like, "I'll just talk or see you later."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay."
So he was arguing with his mom on the.
Over text, over a ride home.
Okay. Then about an hour later, you and Charlie go back to Charlie's house.
Yes,
You-
ma'am.
Hey, Miss King.
Charlie and Kyle's house, whatever, who's staying there.
Mhm.
About an hour later, Seth comes there, knocks on the door.
Mhm.
Was he loud, obnoxious, anything?
He wasn't loud or anything. He just said, "Call me. Can I come in and talk to Amber?" Because I walked away from her.
Okay.
So we sat down.
Okay, so how
So he come over and was talk to Amber and sat down, and she knew what the plan was. I thought Abraham said, because I thought she said because he likes Amber, or was it the mother who just said that? The mother said that Michael would follow her around and say, "I like your daughter, but she won't date me. She won't go out with me." And Amber said that they always had a thing for each other, but they never dated. And then we find out later that they were having sex. I think that she didn't admit it at first because Michael was scared of getting that statutory rape charge again that he had already got for that girl Tessa that was pending, or he had a warrant for, or whatever.
long was it after he walked in the house and sat down? Kyle was already in the living room,
Mhm.
and now you and Charlie and Seth are all in the living room.
Yes, ma'am.
How long was it before when Seth sat down before Kyle got up and hit him?
We were just sitting there maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Was Was Seth saying anything to Kyle?
No, he was just giving Kyle dirty looks because they don't really. Seth hates my brother.
Okay.
Like, I don't know anything about their little argument, but we just sat down. He just kept giving Kyle dirty looks. I paid no attention.
What
to
was
Kyle.
he saying to you? What was Seth saying to you?
He was like, just talking like, I think it's a good thing we're trying to be friends again. And he's like, I'm sorry if I ever put my hands on you or yelling at you. And we talked about that for a couple minutes, and that's whenever Kyle got up. I guess Kyle got fed up with hearing it.
Okay. So about a 5-minute conversation, but no conversation between Seth and Kyle.
No.
Okay. So Kyle gets up and he, as far as you know, hits Seth one time with the board, and Seth jumps up out of the chair.
Yeah.
And right then is when you.
Because I looked at Charlie, and I didn't want to get like hit or anything in the middle of it. So
Right.
I looked at Charlie. I'm scared to death. I just ran to the room, and she came with.
She's scared to death because she knows what the plan is, what Kyle and Michael are going to do to him. That's why she's scared. I mean, I bet she was smiling the whole damn time. Sometimes being honest doesn't make you right. I thought she was referring to herself in third person. I was going, man, please borrow the brain again.
Okay. And how long was it then before you hear a door slam open? I guess
Not even a minute later.
Not even a minute later, you hear a door slam open.
Yeah, because Charlie's room's here, and then Mike's room is right next to it.
Okay.
And the door is off the hinges. You just set it up in front of it.
In Mike's room, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess he just flew it off because all I heard was the door slam against the wall.
Okay.
And then right after that, all you hear is the gun going off.
Okay. Do you know for sure how many gunshots you heard?
No.
Okay. So then after that, Michael comes into your room and says, you guys cannot come out. When did you finally come out?
Kyle came back in there, like.
So Charlie does claim to be pregnant, and she claims that Joe, her husband, is going to leave her. Charlie's the only one that seems legit freaked out through all of this. It's weird. Roach talks about ending his life, and we'll get to that. We'll get there. It'll probably be a couple of days because I want to try to finish getting through, Charlie's interview and Kyle's interview and Roach's interviews, or Justin Soto is his name. And then we're going to do the couch conversation, which is the most important one because it's the one where they end up basically admitting everything. 15 years old, doing, as of right now, life without the possibility of parole for a crime she committed when she was 15. Michael Bargo was 18, youngest person in Florida history to be sentenced to death row for this crime.
I think because we were sitting in the bathroom for a while, just crying, and Kyle came in there.
Did you know what had happened?
No, I didn't want to think about it. I didn't know if he got him or anything. I was just sitting there, and I didn't want to go out there and check.
Okay.
And just Mike came in the room and told us not to come out. And then I guess like after Mike did whatever, Kyle came in the room and he was like, "Everything's fine, Amber." He was like, "You're not gonna see anything, I promise."
Okay, so Kyle told you to stay in the room too?
Kyle didn't want me to go out there to see anything.
How long was it after you heard the gunshots until, I know Mike comes in pretty much right away?
Right after.
Okay, and then how long was it before Kyle comes in and says?
Maybe like 10, 20 minutes.
10, 20 minutes later he comes in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you guys stay in there all night?
Yeah, we didn't come out of the room. The
Okay.
most we did was out.
What did you hear while you were in there? I mean,
we
seeing
just
things.
heard a whole bunch of stomping and like just something dropping and that stuff and just like yelling because Mike was yelling about something.
What was Mike yelling about?
Mike was like, "That's what you effing get. You deserve everything you get," and just going on about it.
Do you think he was talking to Seth in hindsight now, or was he talking to Kyle?
I think he was talking to Seth because Kyle wasn't saying anything.
Okay.
I want to know if Seth was responding.
Then what happens? I mean, do you guys go to sleep?
Me and Charlie stayed in her room.
Okay.
And we just laid there and we were just talking about how scared we were. She was like, "Should I go out there?" And I was like, "Don't, because what if Mike does actually do something to you?"
Okay. So when did you guys finally come out of the room?
The next morning.
Okay, about what time?
We didn't wake up till maybe 11, 12 o'clock.
Okay. And what did you do when you came out?
We just looked around and there was nothing around.
What was anything different?
Oh, it just smelled like pure bleach in the house. That's it.
Do you know where the bleach came from?
No.
You spend a lot of time at Charlie's house?
Yeah. Bad Girl said, imagine how Seth felt knowing he was being set up. Yeah, not only that, like he, when they text each other, he said, Amber, you better not be having me jumped. Like he already had a bad feeling about it. Then he goes over there and all this happens and he gets shot. And he's still able to get out of the house and down the steps of the front porch and thinking he's going to be able to get away and get help. And they grab him and jerk him back into the house. Like I couldn't imagine what that child went through. It's awful. And that's why I feel so bad for his dad. I mean, I have a lot of sympathy for his dad and his mom.
Yeah, I stayed the night there a couple nights because my brother was there.
Sure. Have you ever seen bleach around there before?
Mm-mm. I mean, because I've cleaned the kitchen, I've rearranged the living room, but I've never seen it.
No, not on top of the refrigerator. There wasn't any bleach on top of the
The only
refrigerator.
thing, the cereal's on top of the refrigerator, and then there's like always dishes everywhere and just food. There's never any bleach or cleaning supplies but soap in the house.
Okay. So that night you didn't know, you had no idea there was any bleach in the house. As far as you were concerned, there hasn't been any in the house. Did you hear anybody leave the house? Anybody have a vehicle?
No one there has a vehicle. Everybody walks everywhere they go.
So it would be unusual to have a couple gallons of bleach at that house.
Yeah.
I have a problem in trying to find out where the bleach came from.
I'm almost thinking, I wonder if Mike went down to his grandmother's.
Well, Mike did go to his grandma's that day.
His grandmother only lives a few blocks from us.
Okay. But that night, when you came, so that would, the bleach had to come from somewhere, but it was at night the bleach had to come because when you guys got up in the morning at 11 or so, you smelled bleach.
Yeah, like after the thing happened at night and we woke up, we walked out in the living room, we looked around the living room to see if we see anything or see.
Did you see any blood?
No, everything was normal. The only thing different was the kitchen and living room was like a very strong smell of bleach.
Okay.
Like they tried to clean something up.
Okay. Who do you mean when they say they?
Like Mike.
Okay.
I don't know if.
Do you know if anybody else was there?
No, it was just.
Did you hear anybody else come? Did you hear anybody leave? Did you hear a vehicle?
I've heard the door open and close several times, and that's it.
And there probably wasn't no bleach in that house, if I had to guess, in my opinion. She does know that she's wrong and it doesn't change anything. Yep. And she made a bad one. I mean, I don't know how to feel about her because she's very manipulative and does not need to be out on the streets. But again, I did a bunch of dumb shit when I was 15 too. Not that severe, obviously, but like I don't know. I'm glad that she is going to get another trial in like 25 years, but life without the possibility of parole for something you did when you were 15, that's big. But what they did to him was absolutely horrific. So, man.
The door of the house?
Yeah, the front door. Just kept open and closing, open and closing.
Not that I know of.
Okay, so the front door of the house, not the back door?
The back door. Like,
Oh.
The back door is like right next to Charlie's room.
No, you're talking about yeah, no, I haven't heard anything on her. I'll check though. I don't know how the mother can be so calm hearing what her children were involved in. She does talk about getting sick here in a minute.
That door only opened a couple of times.
Okay. Are you familiar with any paint buckets there? Was there paint buckets?
Yeah, she had paint buckets from painting her house.
Okay. How big were they?
Maybe like this tall.
Okay, so they're kind of 5-gallon buckets?
Yeah.
Okay. Where were they at?
They were in the kitchen full of paint.
Okay, so they were inside of the house full of paint. Okay, so
Because I know every time I'd sweep up the floor, I had to move the bucket so I can get around.
Were they there in the morning?
No.
Do you know where they went?
No. There was pretty much nothing left in the kitchen but the dishes and the food.
Okay.
Like everything that was on the floor was gone.
What all was on the floor before?
There was the dog food, there was a sleeping bag, and like 2 or 3 5-gallon buckets of paint.
Okay.
So it was 3 5-gallon buckets, I think, that they recovered from the quarry. But like, why is there a sleeping bag on the floor in the kitchen, just hanging out in the damn kitchen? Yeah, my mama would have beat my ass right then and there too, and dare you to correct her, right? My mama would have got up and walked out and said, "Only God can help you now."
And so all that's gone.
Yeah, all of that was gone.
Okay. When you guys leave that day, you go to your mom's?
We went up to her friend Chris's house.
Okay. Did you guys talk about what had happened at Chris's house?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys talked about it to anybody before you came here today besides each other?
We didn't even talk to each other about it.
Okay, so it was just
kind of, I don't want to say anything in Mike here, and he do something.
okay. Where was Michael the next day when you got up?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see him?
No, he just wouldn't come out of his room, and then me and Charlie left, and we were up at her friend's house until maybe 4. What time did you call me? When you made dinner.
Probably about 3.
So Michael was in the house
Yep.
though when you woke up in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know where he's at now?
All I know is that he's probably gonna Lakeland because that's where he went last time he got in trouble.
So yeah, to be fair, the mother did bring them in to confess because she put 2 and 2 together, and then Kyle basically told her what happened, and she did take them up there and was like, "We're going to the police station right now, and you're gonna tell them what happened." And she made him go up there and confess. So she did her part when it comes to that. Now, I mean, her 16-year-old son isn't living with her. He's living in the house with Charlie, working at McDonald's. I mean, everybody's different, but like, I don't know. That's a lot of kids running around trying to be adults
What he got in trouble for what?
and no adults.
For statutory rape.
Okay, for Tessa's case?
Yeah.
Okay, so he went to Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, is it a cousin that lives in Lakeland?
I was told
He said it was his cousin.
Okay. But you didn't ever see that you were gone, so you didn't see the cousin come pick him up or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Did he have any money that you know of?
The only money he had is whatever Kyle paid him for doing a tattoo on him, which was like $50.
Okay, so that's all the money that
That's all the
But
money
you know
I know
Michael
that
had.
he had.
Okay. Do you know about him selling drugs?
I'm sure he did, because
Okay.
I know he smokes.
Okay. Do you know where he buys his drugs?
No, man.
Okay.
The only name I've heard of was Hyman.
Jaime?
It's Hyman. They
Hyman?
call him Hyman.
Where's he from? Do you know?
No, but I know he lives at the end of Mike's grandma's road.
Okay. I'll be right back, okay?
It is. It is such a waste. They both just sit there quiet.
Hi, I'm Kathleen, and I am going to take some pictures. Lisa was going to be coming. She's getting the things. I guess we're going to get swabs from you. Okay. All right. What's your name?
Amber.
Amber. Okay, and this is your mom, right? Okay. First, I'm going to just take a picture of you, and then you have. I thought I saw a little tattoo there. Then I'm going to take pictures of your tattoos. Okay. Okay. Now you got one here. I'm gonna take. Actually, I'll take two pictures because I'm gonna take one so you can see where it is, and I'll take one close up. Any more? Oh yeah. In front of my nose, huh?
Hi, ladies.
Good. This is Lisa.
What's your name? Amber. Amber.
Okay, can you pull your jeans down just a little?
Do y'all see all these tattoos that she has? At the age of 15, I bought an 89 Ford Escort for $950 and took my driver's test in it at age 16. Yeah. I was bussing tables for $2 an hour at 15 to save up for a car. Yeah. They probably didn't want to follow the mom's rules, which is why they weren't there. She did good in taking him down to fess up. You're grown enough to do this and you're grown enough to face the consequences, right? She got so many tattoos.
Amber, what's your middle? And your last?
Right.
WRIGHT?
Yes, ma'am. And then I have one right here.
Okay. All right.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, that goes down a little ways, doesn't it? How far down does it go?
Here.
Yes, he did. And they were. I got pictures of them.
I don't know if that helps or not. Yes. Let me do one more.
I have one right here.
Okay.
But it's a mess. It got infected.
Yeah.
You can't even really, it's a blob.
If you don't mind.
Florida, Southern.
Amber, what's your birthday?
3/29/96.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Do you have any injuries, scratches, anything like that?
Only like little tiny scratches. That's about it. Let's see what you got. That's from washing the dishes. I got stabbed by the knife.
Okay, we're gonna take a picture of it anyway.
Let me see, hold your hand down a little bit. Like more like this.
Just lower. Yeah.
She has a tattoo right above her pubic area, and I think it says his name, Michael Bargo or something. I think they tattooed their names on each other.
Now let me go.
Yep. We go, hold on. Right here.
If you don't mind.
Oh, is she going to show her leg? There's one right there, too. Her shirt's covering it up, though.
Amber, what's your birthday?
Oh, they get DNA from her. So they're doing the buccal swabs inside her mouth.
Okay. And I guess, Mom, they mentioned getting swabs from you too? Okay.
And then you realize the stepdad was involved. Right.
What was your first name?
Tracy. Tracey.
Okay, thank you. Middle?
And
ANN? Same last?
yes.
Okay, and your birthday?
I have a tramp stamp, too, on my lower back. I got it when I was 18. Right. Miss King of anything. Yep. I don't know, bad girl.
I don't know why they don't make one side short. That would help them.
Oh, no, you're fine. Okay.
I don't know why Mom let them run around with so many tattoos and things. I don't know.
All right. They didn't mention taking your picture. I don't know the involvement.
I'm just finding out everything.
Oh my
Okay, all
goodness.
right. If we need to, we'll come back.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Because that way if you run, you can find you.
Yeah, so one of the step parents was involved, or an ex step parent was involved in taking the buckets with Seth's remains and throwing it in the quarry. Yep, right on the brink of evil. I mean, she's very manipulative and some kind of messed up individual, but like for this to happen, I don't know. I don't know if it was just the right combination of fire and gasoline, or if she talked Michael into doing this because she wanted to get back at him. I think it's Amber's. Not sure.
Andrew, I just don't feel like talking.
Huh? Huh? Yeah. They already talked to Kyle, Charlie, and Roach, and they just cut. They're still dealing with me. I just had to get my picture taken. They took pictures of all my tattoos, piercings. They swabbed my cheeks and everything. Mm-hmm. She's right here. She handed me the phone. She doesn't feel good right now. Whenever we get out of here, I'll have her call you. Why'd they have this form?
He is
What, for DNA or anything? What? Are they done talking to them three?
he is the only actual grown adult. It was like journaling. That's cool.
Because they went back before Kyle did. And Dave came in the room. He's like, "You're last but not least." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
This is where she says she feels sick. So Amber,
Long hair, fine. Stop calling stuff.
she asked her mama to trade her flip flops, and I feel like that shows how close they were. Um, that her mama is gonna trade flip flops with her, like they both trade flip flops in that moment. I feel like they were close to an extent, but she wasn't close enough to know what all Amber was doing. But right before Amber goes to jail, she trades flip flops with her mom. I try to put myself in their situation at that age, and I can't come up with a good scenario and where I would think it was okay or justifiable, right? It did hit her like a train.
Did you get my phone today? It's not shut up.
And she's like answering her mom's phone. She's like, "Did you cancel my appointment today?" It's like she's more of the adult in their situation than the mom is. That right there, did you hear that? She does it a couple of times. I'm gonna back it up. She doesn't say anything, but listen to what she does. Did you hear the way that she snorted? She's snorting like that because she's trying to catch a drain. Basically, when you snort substances up your nose, it can get stuck in like your sinus cavity, and so you'll snort back real hard and swallow it, and you're trying to catch a drain. You're trying to get basically the substances that's in your nose into your body so you can catch a drain. That she does it several times, and that's what it sounds like she's doing to me, which makes me think she was also snorting some kind of substances at Charlie's house. But that's just a speculation. All right, so that's all of that. Yeah, eat your boogers by swallowing. I agree. Getting that drip. Yep. Amber. Amber did. Okay, we got one more to go through today from what I've got uploaded so far, and I'll have to get some more uploaded for tomorrow. It is this one. Oh, hold on. I made it big too soon. Hold on just a minute. All right. So this is where she kind of gets called out for her lying, and we learn a little bit more about the situation.
Because you've already lied to me, okay? So it's this
Hey,
right here,
Annie.
and right now, Amber, is where the rubber hits the road, okay? Your brother told me everything. So you can sit there and you can continue to lie, and I'm going to walk out and treat you like a piece of garbage. Or you can sit here and treat me with the respect that I treated you with, okay? And you can tell me the truth. What's your choice going to be? Okay, speak up so I can hear you too, okay? So let's start at the beginning again. And you tell me this story. And the first time that I think you're lying, I'm getting up and walking out of here, and I don't care.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I think the mother, I don't know, she was definitely hands off parenting, and Amber seemed to be more like about asking about the appointments and answering her mama's phone. She definitely seemed to be more in charge, and the mama just let the kids run off and do whatever. And I don't know. I don't think she thought it was necessarily bad. I don't think she thought in a million years it would end up how it ended up. Um, and I can't imagine the remorse and regret that she has because both of her kids are gone.
Care what happens to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Me
Go
and
ahead.
Charlie did walk down there and meet him.
You in charge? No, start back when you guys were all in the yard at the trailer, when Brandon was there playing guitar and all that.
Yeah, Brandon was there playing guitar. We were all just hanging out. And
Who all was there?
it was Mike, me, Kyle, Brandon, Charlie, and my
Okay.
stepdad,
Okay, so James Wright comes along.
James Havens.
I'm sorry, what's his name?
Havens.
Havens.
He's not my stepdad anymore, but I still think of it.
Okay, but that is your mom's ex-husband. Your
Yes,
mom
ma'am.
is now back with your father. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct? So his name is James Havens?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, him,
I think I wrote right.
James, and Brandon both left after like Brandon was playing guitar and everything. They both left because James wasn't in a really good mood because he misses my mom and all that. Well, Mike was just saying, well, you should call Seth and all this stuff, and I was like, oh.
And why would he want you to call Seth?
Because he doesn't like him, and he told me he wanted to be like fight him.
No, that's not what he told you.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get walk out of here. This is your last chance.
Okay.
I'm not playing with you, little girl. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm done with being lied to today.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start again. We're going to start
So Kyle Hopper, it says, is still in prison. Still faces life in prison. Kyle Hopper, one of the 5 people convicted in the 2011 slaying of 15-year-old Seth Jackson, still faces life in prison, but now his case will be eligible for a parole review after 25 years. Hooper was originally sentenced to life without parole. And there's pictures of him. I saw one where he had like his neck tied it up. Yeah, look at this one. There's like a yin yang on there and a bunch of artwork. I guess that's more recent. Mm. Lord have mercy. All right, we're going to go back to the other one. To this interrogation.
Fresh. You do not want me to get up here and walk out of this. I guarantee you that. That is not what you want. So
you're good.
Don't play games with me again. Okay, so Roach, which is Mr. Soto, you, Charlie, Kyle, Mike, James, and Brandon are all at the house. Start from there.
We were playing guitar. We were all sitting out in the front yard. We're just going on about random songs. Heard Brandon play talking about his tour. After I'm playing for about an hour, Brandon left and went home, and then my stepdad left and he went home. And then Mike was like,
Then there was a conversation.
yeah, we all went back in the backyard, and Mike was like talking to Charlie and Kyle and me, and he was like, you should call Seth. And I was like, for what? He's like, act like you're gonna make.
Even the way she just said talking to Charlie and Kyle and me, like the way she said me, she says it in a way that like where she feels important to be included. I rewinded it a little bit so we could hear it again.
From there.
We were playing guitar. We were all sitting out in the front yard. We're just going on about random songs. Heard Brandon play talking about his tour. After I'm playing for about an hour, Brandon left and went home, and then my stepdad left and he went home. And then Mike was like,
Then there was a conversation.
yeah, we all went back in the backyard, and Mike was like talking to Charlie and Kyle and me, and he was
Right there. Talking to Charlie and Kyle and me. Like the way she says me, she's super happy and excited to be included in the conversation.
And I was like, for what? He's like, act like you're gonna make up with him. And I was like, for what? Like, he's like, because I'm gonna kill him. And I was like, why are you doing that? He's like, because I'm tired of him hurting you. And I was like, okay. So I went into the front with Charlie, and I called him, and I told him I wanted to make up.
Hey, Hio, I want to get with you I'm going to text you or call you after today's live. I got to ask you a favor. Satan did get attached to her. Yeah, there is a major heat wave. You heard it, Max?
At the end of the road, and then he walked to Charlie's with us, and we walked in the house, and we were sitting there, and I guess Kyle and Mike were in.
Don't guess, because don't tell me you guess, because I know you know.
Yeah, Mike and Kyle were in Mike's room, and I got up from the living room, and I was getting a drink. Me and Roach were messing with the ice. Well, me and Roach were in the kitchen. Charlie was sitting in the living room still, and all I hear was, get him, and the door fly open. And and Kyle hit Seth with the thing, and I flew against the counter, and I looked.
Roach hit him with a stick too?
Yeah.
And
I
don't leave nothing out, because I'm telling you, I'm like,
yeah.
going towards the door now.
Well, Kyle hit.
So yeah, at this point, she's not taking none of her shit. She knows that she's very manipulative and she's been lying, and Kyle has fessed up to quite a bit of things. So she's trying to get everything she can out of Amber.
Him first,
Kyle hit him first? How many times did Kyle hit him?
As of what I know, he only hit him once or twice because I didn't look at it. I was in the kitchen.
Mm.
And all I seen was Seth fly, and then Kyle Roach flew, and Mike flew right behind him. They grabbed him, and they fell down the stairs, and then all I heard was the gun go off.
You didn't hear any gunshots while they were in the house?
Yeah, the gun was like, I forgot, I'm sorry, I left that part out. There was like 1, 2, 3 gunshots in the living room, and they finally got outside after they fell down the stairs. And Charlie was like, come to the room, come to the room, come to the room. I walked in the room with her. I was so shooken up. I'm staring at her. I'm crying. She's trying to hold me to stop crying. I'm about to puke from it all. And then they got him in the house and laid him on the floor. And Mike shot him again.
On the floor?
And Mike shot him again.
Was he still alive at that time?
I don't know. I didn't see him.
Then what happened?
And then Mike was like, Roach, get him in the bathroom. And then Charlie was like, Amber, don't walk out there. Don't walk out there. We don't need to see it. And then that's when Mike came in the room when Roach was doing whatever was said. Roach and Kyle, whatever was said. That's when Mike walked in the room with his gun in his hand. And he was like, I love you both, but if you say anything, I'll kill you both.
Now, he said, I love you both because we'll find out later that Michael was sleeping with Charlie and Amber, which is weird. And Amber's pregnant by either Roach or Charlie. I mean, not Amber, I'm sorry. Charlie is pregnant by either, I think, Roach or Michael during this time. And she's got a husband named Joe, all kinds of craziness.
And I was like, I promise I'm not going to say anything.
So what I'm understanding you're telling me is that you knew that there was a plan to kill Seth, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong now. You knew there was a plan to kill Seth. You participated in it by your role was to lure Seth to the house, which you did. You called him. You walked up the street to meet him. You brought him back to the house knowing that that was the plan, correct? Did you participate in cleaning up? Where'd the bleach come from? Who bought the bleach?
I really don't know who bought the bleach. But I promise I don't know who bought the bleach. I just know the
No more tears, no more remorse, no more sadness that quick.
bleach was handed to Roach and he dumped it.
Who handed Roach the bleach?
Mike did.
Okay.
And it was dumped all in the kitchen. And Roach was on his hands and knees scrubbing it all out.
Did you scrub anything with the bleach?
The door.
You scrubbed the door? What door?
The screen door that's like on the inside of the regular house door.
Okay.
Because there was like a couple spots on it.
Did you scrub the bathroom?
No, ma'am. I didn't walk in the bathroom at any point in time.
Did you hear shots while they were putting Seth in the bathroom?
I heard one.
Just one?
Just one.
So you're trying to tell me that the shots were after they got him back in the house that they shot it, Mike shot him again in the kitchen or in the bathroom?
I know they shot him when Mike first came out. They shot him then, and he got out the door, and they grabbed him, and Mike just let it off.
Who grabbed him when he got out the door?
Roach had him by his shirt.
Okay.
And I was
See, that's a really sad part because Seth almost got away and then Roach grabbed him by the shirt and pulled him back in after he had been shot several times.
against the counter because I didn't want to be in it.
You didn't want to be in it?
No, like.
Are you out of your mind, girl? You're just sitting here telling me you just planned a murder. You took part in it. Now you're going to tell me the little flower that you are stood up against the counter because you didn't want to be
No,
in it?
like I didn't want to get
I love that, the little flower that you are.
in the fire. Like.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that it was just he just didn't want to get shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
when
understand
they grabbed
that.
him, they pulled him back up, and Roach fell down the stairs, and he hurt his legs. So Kyle and Mike pulled him up the stairs, and they got him in the.
Was he saying anything at that time? What was Seth saying?
He wasn't talking.
Was he breathing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't really see him once they got out the door, and they dragged him in, and I went to the room because I didn't want to see it. And all I heard in the room was more gunshots going off in the living room, and then Roach
What was he saying?
He was just, he emptied his pocket, I guess, and he found condoms. He was like, "You're planning on effing Amber, and you deserve this." And
My mouse is dying, but we're going to make it work. Abraham said, what's even worse is that when she went to lure him the first time, the mother intervened and then she still lured him back on his own. Oh, I'll work on that, Cara. That would have been an excuse for her to try to say this is a sign or say I tried and not trying again. Right. Bye, Indy. Have a good one. My mouse is dying, so I'm gonna try to charge it while we watch the end of this, but I probably won't be able to highlight many comments. I don't know who taught these children it's okay to like empathy, Nessa. It's sick. It really is. Like and like Abraham pointed out, like he didn't come the first time. The mom intervened and she still got him to come back later.
you got what was coming to you, and he, and me and Charlie stayed in the room.
Where's Seth's body now?
They wouldn't let me see it. They told me, Mike told me that me and Kyle, that he was going to take it to the quarry in Lakeland.
In Lakeland.
Not Lakeland, in Gander Mountain.
Okay.
And he was going to drop it there.
What did he put the body in?
His paint buckets.
How did he get the body in the paint bucket? What did he do to the body first?
He said he was going to burn it.
Did you see a fire? Did you put some wood on that fire to help get it hot? Did you take any of Mike's stuff or Seth's stuff and put it in that fire?
No, ma'am.
Yep.
Did you see them put Seth in the fire?
No, ma'am. I didn't see them put him in the fire.
When's the last time you saw Seth?
When he was laying on the kitchen floor.
Okay, and then you didn't ever see his body again?
No,
Did you see them put him in a sleeping bag? Did you ever see the sleeping bag?
no, ma'am.
Okay, I charged it for a second. It was a determined bad decision. Um, Cara said she's probably someone's sweet flower in prison right now. She probably is. Yeah, that child, they for absolutely no reason, like no reason at all.
You told me about the sleeping bag that was on the kitchen
I know
floor.
the sleeping bag was on the kitchen floor, but I didn't know they put him in it. I didn't.
Did you hear it again?
After that, because I went to the bathroom.
She now I could be wrong, but it sounds to me like she's trying to catch a drain. The way she snorts.
I didn't see him after that because I went to the bathroom.
What were you thinking?
I was scared.
What were you scared of? There was no threat
I was scared
at the time
of
that.
Mike.
Yes.
But there was no threat at the time. Seth wasn't even there. So what? I mean, what are you being afraid of? Seth wasn't even there. There was nothing for Mike. Mike, you said Mike told me I love you both. He would never do anything to hurt you. What were you thinking about getting Seth up there?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking at the time.
Did you just?
I hate that. My kids will say that. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, and I'm like, that's not an answer. He has said, is Amber still in? Yes, she is. They should have invented Kleenex that's white, but turns blue or red when it comes to contacts with real tears, no doubt. I don't know, man. I don't know how they got this evil and conceit and like conceited and just my God.
Hate Seth that bad?
I didn't hate him. I was hurt.
Why were you hurt? What happened?
Because every time he told me he gave me an STD. And I got tested, but it came up negative. But then he kept trashing my name. I lost all my friends to him. Everybody that I was so close with didn't talk to me anymore.
So
that's her reasoning. She lost all her friends. He talked shit about her and said something about an STD.
Why you agreed to do this? Because you were mad at him for that? I'm just asking. Between me and you, is that why? Was that your reasoning behind it? Was just you were mad
I
at him?
had no reason behind it.
You didn't have any reason.
I really didn't.
I need to know who bought the bleach. Where did the bleach come from?
I don't know who bought the bleach.
How much does James Havens know about this? Your stepdad, James Haven.
I don't know what he knows about it.
Who have you talked about this with?
Just Charlie,
Just Charlie?
Kyle, and that's it.
Roach?
I haven't talked to Roach since he left. And then Mike disappeared. And I've only been around Charlie and Kyle.
She said, and then Mike disappeared, and I didn't want them to try to blame Kyle.
When you get up Monday morning, what did you do?
And sat there and cried.
Then what
Oh,
did you do?
yeah.
And me and Charlie left and went to Chris's house.
Did you go to your mom?
And went to
Yep.
my mom's for dinner because she asked me to go eat with her.
Does your mom?
So she did all of this while having just committed this horrible homicide. Abraham said, but that fell flat on its face because the text messages say otherwise. She made it seem like they were going to reconcile. Exactly. Exactly.
Mom know about this? All right, I want to make sure nobody's promised you anything. Nobody's promised you a deal, anything like that. Nobody's for you telling me that you're part in this. Nobody promised you anything. Nobody, you were aware of your rights. You did freely and voluntarily is what I'm getting at. I didn't threaten to beat you. I didn't make threats against you, anything like that. This came of your own free will that you decided to tell the truth. Is that correct? Okay. Just hold on a minute and I'll be back on it.
So that was more of the truth, but not the whole truth. And she's going to sit there and cry and catch another drain. She knows that camera's rolling, in my opinion. She is actually humble, but it's been so many years since this happened, you know? Cry me a river. Yeah. I still want to know. Yeah, little girl. She did confess. And we've got more interviews to go through. I still want to know who was the mastermind. I know that she sent the text messages to lure him there. But did she know that he was going to kill him? Did she think it was all talk? See, now she's messing with her fingernails. You think the train's hitting her? Catching that drain. I don't know what to think. I don't know if she thought that they were just all talking shit and they really weren't going to do anything but try to fight him. I don't know if she thought that they were going to kill him. I don't know if she wanted that to happen. I don't know. Abraham said, I think she manipulated Michael Bargo to the point where he was willing to do what he did. And that's the end of that interview. Yep, and then she's fine again. Exactly. So I'm going to work on getting some more interviews together for you guys. I think I can see there's like one where she talks about them fingerprinting her that's like 6 minutes. It's not that long. Da 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 da. Let me see. I'll also check Osceola and see if anything's new on Steppen. Yeah, we can watch this 7-minute one real quick. Hold on. I think it starts right where they took her out of that room, and they're bringing her back in here with her mom.
My whole hand is covered from black from here to here.
You think so, Nessa?
What? The black all over here.
All over there.
Everywhere.
Where you at?
There, you had all their fingerprints.
How you know?
Because they're talking about it, and they're like,
Yep.
they're like, no, we already did everybody else's. She's lost.
I'm okay.
And then they're like, we'll bring her back into her, and then with her mom just in case. I think they were just coming back.
Oh, look. I'll check it. I do got some news on Stearns. She just sits there with her mom.
I'm sure the lady almost broke my freaking finger.
She said the lady almost broke her finger taking her fingerprints. But she's talking so low. And then she lays down. I'm going to try to kind of just skip through because there's not a lot to this.
Found Mike. I don't know. I think they found Mike.
So at this point, Mike was on the run.
I feel like crap. I can't speak clear, but nobody knows if they found Mike.
And she was saying that she thought that they found Mike because he took off and was on the run, and there was a manhunt for Michael Bargo for a little while after all this happened.
No, like he didn't claim it. Like he.
Hey, Daisy.
Before, like we got here, whatever, and all this crap happened.
I do.
Like he said, he cleaned his gun.
Just something court related.
To us, everybody. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. I'm going to look at it and see if I need to put out a video on that.
Yeah, but you didn't do anything, so you weren't there, so you're not in this. Yeah, she's about to freaking go back to sleep.
Checking every room, everything okay? Are you supposed to be on the phone, huh?
It's my brother.
Okay.
Oh, they didn't say anything.
They didn't say anything. Is that your phone?
Yes, it's mine.
Okay. Would you mind if I held on to it?
No.
I'll give it to you before the end of the day.
No, it's fine.
Okay. I'm Detective Diaz.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Thank you.
You know you're not supposed to be on the phone.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I bet you think it's ridiculous.
Why are they taking yours?
Because you were talking on it. Duh.
What did she say that she was giving it back before we leave?
She just said, did she say she was giving it back before we leave? Because she still thinks that she's leaving.
What were we just supposed to say? Is there a blank fucking wall? Yeah, sure. Charlie, Roach, and Kyle are all sitting together.
Oh, they are.
That's what I was told.
Yes, thank you for your donations. I'm sorry, I can't see it. So she's laying on the couch, getting that drain. Thinking that she's going home with mama and getting mad that they took the daggone phone. All right. So I was wrong. As of today, there is a joint motion to continue. So I'm going to assume that joint means that both the DA and his defense attorney want to continue. Let's look it up. In a criminal setting, a joint motion to continue means that both the prosecution and the defense agree on the continuance. It is a formal written request submitted to a court by all parties involved in the legal case. Courts have the option to grant or deny a continuance based on whether a just reason for the delay exists. So, evidently, they both want to continue the court case, even though on the 12th, it was set for July 15th at 9 a.m. Oh, and there's also this one from the 25th, which was yesterday. This is really long, and I cannot read all that because my mouth's already hurting. But I'll try to get a video out on it. It's the defendant's motion to remove newspapers from courthouse during pendency of proceedings. Basically, he's charged with 8 counts of sexual battery on a child under 5. I think that's written wrong. Under 18, 5 counts of sexual battery with a child 12 to 18. Da 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 da. This case has garnered extensive media coverage. These newspapers are currently made available in public areas of the courthouse. The Sixth Amendment guarantees defendant right to a fair trial by impartial jury, citing cases. The defendant acknowledges the freedom of speech and press granted by the First Amendment. However, courts have continuously recognized that reasonable restrictions on the time, place, and manner of expression are permissible when they serve significant governmental interests. All right, wherefore, the defendant respectfully requests this honorable court, the Honorable Court Judge Karsten, Administrative Circuit Judge for Osceola County Circuit and County Courts, enter an order directing the removal of newspapers from the courthouse lobby and other areas beyond security checkpoints during the pendency of these proceedings, and for such other relief as this court deems just and proper. So he's asking them to remove all newspapers from the courthouse, and they also want a continuance, both sides. So that means more than likely they're going to get their continuance, and I don't know when the trial will be, which is frustrating to say the least. All right, let's talk about this real quick. I'm going to try to read it before I go for the day, and then maybe if I just be quiet for the rest of the day, my mouth won't hurt. I'm sure everybody would like that. Because I talk a lot. Okay. Travis Decker's neighbor reveals weird encounter before his 3 daughters died. Quote, he was skinny, he had long hair and a beard. I said, is that you, Travis? Neighbor Nigel tells people of how the murder suspect looked on the day he picked up his 3 daughters. So this is the same guy that was talking about the messages that Whitney sent her. That's just saying the words. By all accounts, Travis Decker was an enthusiastic girl dad to his trio of daughters, whom he shared with his ex-wife Whitney. I'm going to kind of skim through it so I don't have to talk a lot. The family's longtime next-door neighbor, Nigel, recalls Travis taking the girls on camping trips in the Cascade Mountains near their home in Wenatchee, Washington. And when the Deckers' marriage crumbled in 2022, he moved out of the house but regularly stopped by with his dog to pick the girls up. Quote, they loved him a lot and he loved them too, Nigel told People in this week's issue on Newsstands Friday. Yet when Travis, a formerly clean-cut U.S. Army veteran who went on to work in construction, arrived for a pickup on Friday, May 30th, Nigel, who was watering his lawn at the time, was struck by how different his neighbor looked. Quote, he was skinny, he had long hair and a beard, and I said, is that you, Travis? Nigel recalls as the two men chatted for 10 minutes. Travis, while polite, seemed distracted, absent-mindedly asking how he'd been, what? Travis, while polite, seemed distracted, absent-mindedly asking how he'd been 3 times. Okay. It was kind of weird, says Nigel. He had a sad face. According to the Decker's coin, okay, that just tells us about when he got the girls. And then she was scared when he didn't bring her home. That tells us about her reporting the bodies. And he had survival skills and knew how to relocate to Canada. He seemed to suffer from PTSD as a result of combat. Whitney struggled to help Travis through severe paranoia, nightmares, and insomnia. That was from the attorney. So right here, his issues seemed to spiral once he was out of what Whitney calls the bumpers of the military that kept him in line. He tried to get help. He went to the VA. He called the Veterans Crisis Line, but nothing seemed to change. That's about it. So he looked a lot different than he had before, and evidently asked the neighbor how he had been a total of like 3 times. Hey, Buzzard. Bazzard, sorry. Oh, I should have done that. Thank you for that. I'll remember it next time. All right. I hate that. I was glad that we found that though, where it said that he did try to get help. Because I thought he had. I thought he had searched for help and for whatever reason couldn't get help. That's really sad to hear that. Abella said, please don't relocate to Canada if you're a criminal. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for donating or clicking the thumbs up and sharing the stream. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think like ad revenue from this stream will go to the foundation that I joined in with Nonsense for Pride Month. And again, the only reason we didn't do a Pride related stream was because I had, as a matter of fact, let me try to grab that real quick too while you're, oh, no, my mouse is going to be stupid again. Okay. The only reason that I didn't do a Pride related stream was because we had already done that with Matthew Shepard. Bad girl, if you're still here, I did donate that $50 from that stream and I matched it with $100 and I will post that on my YouTube page in the post section. I donated 20 to this fundraiser as well in support of Pride Month. I appreciate y'all being here and watching the stream. Just hanging out helps from what I understand. Thank you for your support. Thank you so very much. I mean, really, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I'm going to work on getting some more interrogations ready and out. And I'm also going to rest my mouth. And I will see y'all tomorrow. If nobody has told you, you are enough, you are important, you are special, and you are loved. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Have the best night ever. Bye. Maybe.